Yo, 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 it's your boy Frosty back at you again with another video. No, I'm just kidding. So, today I am going to record a little video, of me coding in Python, mainly for two reasons. One, the first and foremost, I like listening to myself and recording myself, so, there's that. And then two, I just like talking. I talk to myself anyway when I'm practicing coding, so I might as well just like record it and then throw it on YouTube and I'll have it for posterity. I can come back and look at it in a year and see how dumb I was. But today I'm gonna do, or for this video at least, I'm gonna do a kata from Code Wars. Katas are like little daily exercise, little daily coding exercises that they put out, and it's more than daily. You can do as many exercises as you want. Um, but I thought I would just do one. I loaded one up that I think I'm capable of doing that I thought about a little bit, but I think I should be able to do this one. So this says find the divisors. So create a function named divisors that takes an integer that's greater than 1 and is greater than 1 and returns an array with all of the integer's divisors except for 1 and the number itself from smallest to largest. If the number is prime, return the string integer as prime. Null in C sharp or either a string in Haskell, but I'm not using Haskell, Rust, or C sharp, so I'm using Python. So it wants us to create a function where we can give it a number, any number, and it'll return a list like this of all the numbers it's divisible by. If it's prime, return the string, that number is prime. So let's see if we can do that. Let's create a new Python file called find divisors. Divisors? Is that how you spell that? Yes, divisors. I cannot spell whatsoever. I'm sure you'll see. So another thing that I thought I would do is um, write what I think I should do before I code it in like pseudocode, or so they say. So I will create a new file, pseudocode.txt, and okay, so what does this tell us to do? So create the function that takes an integer or a number. I'll just say number because it's easier to say, and provides a list of the divisors or the numbers that goes into it. So I think what I'm going to have to use here is the modulus. I think that's what it's called, the modulus operator, which the modulus operator just returns the remainder of a number, I think. So if I do x equals 5 modulus, which is percent, and I don't know if I'm saying it right. So x should equal 1. Yes, because it returns the remainder of whatever it divides. So it takes 5 and divides it by 2. 2 divided by 5, or 5 divided by 2 is 4, remainder 1, and so it returns the 1. So I think what I'm going to have to do for this code is take a number and modulus, and then take a number, give it a number. So we'll have that number. Number modulus a range of numbers equal to that number. So basically, take the number and modulus it against a range equal to that number. So if the number is 10, take the number 10 and modulus it against 1 through 10. If any of the modulus equals 0, meaning it doesn't have a remainder, and that number goes into that first number, then add it to the list. Add it to divisors. We'll call that list divisors. And we'll have a list up here called divisors. So I'm not spelling modulus right. I don't even know if I'm saying modulus right. Modulus. Modulus. There's no O. Modulus. Modulus. Then add it to divisors, which will be a list called divisors. But then the kata also says if the number is prime, return the string prime. Return that integer as prime. So if the length of the list, I think I'll have to use the length. If the length of the list is equal to 0, then it has to be prime. And print it is prime, right? So if it returns a list with no numbers because it wouldn't have found the numbers, then it is prime. I know this doesn't make very much sense because I'm writing it out in English, but let's see if we can just start coding it, I guess. So it wants us to define divisors and call divisors our function. Integer. Okay. So it says, so what we're going to need to do is, so we'll use a for loop, I think. For I, which is just a random value or a variable, for I in a range of, I guess we could do 1, right? Yeah, in a range of 1 to the integer. Take the integer and modulus it against I. Oh, we'll call that x. So this is saying, so if we put in 10 here as the integer, it's saying for every I, whatever this is, in a range of 1 to 10, because that'll be that, take 10 and divide it by each one in that range. So it'll divide 10 by 1, it'll divide 10 by 2, it'll divide 10 by 3, it'll divide 10 by 4, and so on. If x is equal to 0, then so it's saying that that variable is outside its scope. Yeah, I guess we have to keep it within the scope. Okay. If x is equal to 0, meaning it is a divisible divisor, then we need to create, we'll say list divisors. List of divisors. Then list of divisors dot append I. So it's saying, okay, so for I in a range of 1 to the integer, take the integer and divide it by that 1 in the range. If x is equal to 0, 0, append I to the list of divisors. Then print list of divisors. Is it that easy? I knew it was going to be easy because I read it before I started this video and I was like, okay, I think I'll just use the modulus. It can't be that easy. If I run this and it works, it'll be... Oh, okay, so I just defined this function, but I never actually called the function. So we'll say divisors 10. 1, 2, and 5. Holy shit, that works. That's awesome. It's really a simple problem, but I've only been studying Python for like 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And so that's awesome. That's awesome. There's probably a much simpler way to do it. But I'm not done yet. So this is just the base code. I haven't satisfied everything in the problem. So it says, sorry, I got distracted. Okay, so it says that takes an integer and returns an array with all the integer's divisors except for 1 and the number itself. And this is returning 1, but it's not returning the number itself, because when you say in a range, it always goes up to but not equal to the last number in the range. So if I wanted to do something in a range of 10, I would actually have to put 1 to 11, and then it would include 10. So we've got that handled on the back end, but we need to, so what if I just start this at 2? Nice. That's it. That's awesome. So 25. Is 25 only divisible by 5? I guess so. So let's take a number like 36. Nice. Fuck yes. Okay, so now let's take a prime number. So what's the lowest prime number? Well, I guess the lowest prime number is 2, but let's take another one. 17. Nothing. So it doesn't append it whatsoever. Okay. Then we'll need to put this in a different loop. We'll have to say, because it says, the problem says, if the number is prime, return a string that says the integer is prime. So we'll have to say, if the length of the list divisors is equal to 0, then print the string integer plus is a, or what is it, what it made to exactly say, is prime. No, is prime. Else, print the list of divisors. So this should work, I think. I hope. 17 is prime. Nice. Well, that was really easy. I mean, I didn't think did I do everything? It says create a function that takes an integer from smallest, largest. From smallest to largest, which it is doing smallest to largest. So if we just take some, like we could do any number, like 187, 68. Those are all the numbers divisors. Nice. Nice. 97. I think 97 is prime. Nice. Okay, this is working. But let's make this like an actual program. Let's go a little bit farther than what the kata says. So let's make this an actual program. So we'll say while true, divisors, we'll say input, which enter a number. So it'll ask the user for a number, and we'll call that input user number is equal to enter a number, and then we'll say divisors user number. Was that it? Enter number 24. Oh. What? Line 15 for I line integer. String object cannot be interpreted as an integer. So we need to format this input as an integer. so that it can, because when I enter 24 here, it takes it as a string and it can't multiply that. So I think this is right. Nice. Nice. And it'll just, since it's in the while true loop, it'll just keep asking me until I quit the program. So 56, 27, 97, 17. Nice. We can also say enter a number or enter, we'll make these double quotes. Ah! Can't type. Enter a number or enter Q to quit. Quit. If user number, oh, but that's gonna, okay. Because Q is not an integer, but I formatted this as an integer. I'm wondering how I fix that. So I think I have to just convert it as an integer here. I think this will still work. So rather than here. So it'll take whatever value and still store it as a string, but when you put it as the user number, if user number is equal to Q, then break from this loop, and we'll say print program terminated. I think this should still work. Enter a number or hit Q to quit. 45. Nice. 78. Nice. 0. 0 is prime. 69. Let's try to crash the program. 49 point. Yee. I knew that would crash. I don't really know how to deal with floats or like errors or stuff. Cool. Okay, well, that's the kata, and that's is the end of my stupid video that nobody would want to see. I'm not trying to add value to anything. I'm just bored, really. Bye! Don't forget to destroy that like button.